Hi guys, I'm back. So remember how I think a couple of days ago I was saying how there was something that Hillary Clinton put out in the media about Kamala Harris, something coming out about Kamala Harris. And I was like, well, I wonder what this is about. I wonder what's coming out about Kamala Harris. I mean, I can't wait to see what this is about. So I'm not sure if this is what they're talking about, but I stumbled upon this today. So this says that Kamala Harris's husband forcefully slapped an ex-girlfriend for flirting with another man in a booze-fueled assault after date to star-studded gala. Okay, so I was reading down and it says that Doug Emhoff allegedly struck the woman in the face so hard she spun around. But that's pretty hard to hit a woman. First of all, why are you hitting a woman? Um, but if you hit her that hard, you were trying to make an impact. I mean, that's what I would say. You were trying to make an impact. But allegedly, it says that okay, let me go down. So this would be the woman, and this is Doug at this time. This is in 2012. And they were in England. So it says the shocking claims follow revelations that Imhoff cheated on his first wife and mother of his two kids around 2008, allegedly impregnating his daughter's nanny, who also worked as her grade school teacher. Um, I mean, you know, people go through different things, different stages in their life. I don't know. I don't know, if this is something where he has a pattern of abusive behavior. It would seem that way, seeing as how the reason, you know, the first wife and him divorced was because he cheated. But not only that, because uh he got the nanny pregnant. It says Imhoff told Jane, which is the lady who accused him of hitting her, that the nanny accused him of causing her to have a miscarriage. According to the friends, Imhoff did not say how he was allegedly responsible for the miscarriage, but he told Jane that the nanny's claims were false. But then he allegedly confessed to Jane that he paid Naylor a settlement of around 80 grand and had her sign a non-disclosure agreement. So he had already lied to this Miss Jane lady by telling her that the claims were false at first. But then later he tells her he paid her off and had her sign a non-disclosure agreement. So you've changed your answer. That would be concerning to me as a woman dating a man. That would be very concerning to me that you lied to me about something or you were deceptive about something and then later you change and say something else. It says he has also spoken out in media interviews about being an ally to women and against toxic masculinity. I mean, people can change their behaviors, sure. If they learn from them, they mature from them, they can change. Okay. I don't know if this is the case with this Doug Emhoff, but I can see why the Republicans would want to eat this up. Okay, it says Jane's friends said she was given tickets by wealthy friends to go to the Foundation for AIDS Research gala dinner near Cannes in southern France. Attendees that year included, models, actors, designers, singers. The friend said Jane brought her then boyfriend Emhoff as a plus one. One of Jane's friends said he was at home getting ready for bed that night when he got an unexpected phone call from her. It was hard to hear her because she was sobbing. She told me she was with a guy and he hit her. So this Miss Jane that was allegedly struck by Kamala Harris's husband in 2012, she calls up her friend late at night to let them know what had just happened. So she called him and let him know that she was just hit. And the friend is saying it was very clear what she was telling me. She said she was with a guy, her date. She was at the Cannes Film Festival and he hit her. She was in the car with the guy at the time. The friend said, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know whether to call the French police. I couldn't get a hold of her after calling back. He said he still had a vivid memory of the troubling conversation from 12 years ago. Jane told him it was something at 3 a.m. They were trying to get out of there and they both had been drinking. There was a gigantic line for taxis. Jane went up to one of the valet guys, offered him 100 euros or whatever to get to the head of the line. She told me she put her hand on his shoulder. Doug apparently thought that she was flirting and came over and slapped her in the face. So why is the first reaction from Doug Emhoff to slap her? If he saw what he perceived to be her flirting, why is that his initial reaction? I feel like men who do this, they don't like when their masculinity is challenged. Your first reaction to something like that, what you perceived as your lady flirting with somebody else, is to hit her. The first thing you do is abuse her. That's concerning. So this is the itinerary, I guess, the evidence that Jane had in regards to Doug Emhoff being in France, because that's his name. And this is the flight leaving New Jersey, going to France. This is another email from Jane to her friends, letting them know that they would have to leave. They, meaning her and Doug, would have to leave It says, unfortunately, we have to leave a day earlier than you so that Doug can be back in LA for his daughter's birthday. So this is another piece of evidence from that time frame. And you can see this is May of 2012. So it says she slapped him back. So after Doug hit Jane, Jane slapped him back. It says she told me that she broke up with him that night. And apparently Jane told a second friend, which was another female New York attorney. So Miss Jane was an attorney herself. And we all know that Doug is an attorney. So, The friend said they had dinner. She said Doug was very charming and it was lovely. Then I believe it was between 2 to 3 a.m. But she was wearing 4-inch heels and a 4-length gown. So it was time to depart. She said there had been no fight before he hit her. You would have thought it was this fairy tale trip. She put her hand on the valet's shoulder and she was talking to him. And Doug comes up. She said he turned around by her right shoulder and she was completely caught off guard. He hauled up and slapped her so hard she spun around. She said she was in utter shock. I would have been too. If there was nothing leading up to this, the rest of that evening, before this time frame, of course she's going to be thrown off by him walking up and hitting her. She's not expecting that. It says she was so furious she slapped him on one side and then on the other cheek with the other hand. I mean, you hit me. I have every right to hit you back. The three friends said that as Jane tried to leave following the alleged assault, Imhoff forced his way into the cab with her. That's very aggressive. That's very aggressive. First, are you already here? You drinking, you know. If alcohol causes you to get aggressive, maybe you should stay away from alcohol. That's what I'll say. If Doug Imhoff could not control his alcohol, or the alcohol control him, this is the type of behavior you get. It says he forced his way into the cab with her. All of a sudden, the car was there, and they were ushering her into the car. She said she wanted to go back to the hotel without him. But while she was shutting the door, he forced himself into the car, which she did not want. That too is very aggressive and very concerning. I think she asked him what the F was that all about in the car. And the only thing she could really get out of him was that he thought she was hitting on the valet. Why is that a reason for your initial reaction to be to slap her? There was not a meeting of the minds at that point. I think you need to come to that before you respond the way you do. I mean, why wouldn't you ask her? Why wouldn't you talk to her offline? Why would you walk up and slap her? You clearly, he might be jealous. That's a dangerous emotion. Very dangerous emotion to have. Hmm. she told a lot of people, which was, it's a good thing she did do that. Remember the other day I told y'all that there is strength in numbers. So the more people who knows about it when it happened, closer to the time that it happened, if it's ever needed at a later date, you got multiple people to help you. You got multiple people to say, yeah, she told me about this. Yeah, she told me too. And each time her story is the same. Because these are different people. It says she had never been hit in her life. Jane is a gorgeous, strong woman, and you would never expect somebody to hit her. So think about what I just said about how I took what I just read about Doug, and I said, this seems like a man who, you know, felt a challenge to his masculinity. That happens with women who are strong. Where if you get the wrong type of man, a man who doesn't like his masculinity challenged, or a man who feels like he has to respond if he feels his masculinity is challenged, you know, the woman can be caught off guard. It's interesting because these types of men will go after strong women because of their image. They will be attracted to those women because of their image. But then when they feel like that woman is a challenge to them personally, or challenging their masculinity, it's like, well, I need to put you in your place kind of thing. I'm a man, you are a woman. But it's like, why would you feel like that's a test on your masculinity? You chose to date a strong woman. It's interesting to me. But I'm thinking that this may be the news that Hillary Clinton was trying to get out into the media before the story broke, that something was coming out about Kamala. Now, it could be something else coming out, but this is something new that I hadn't seen before. And this came out after Clinton made her statement. So it's possibly this, that Kamala Harris's husband, in the past, Kamala Harris's husband has been abusive to women. That wouldn't be good for her campaign. And of course, the Republicans are going to have a field day with this. They've been having a field day with this already. It's like any dirt that they can dig up on Kamala, it's going to come out. Or, anybody affiliated with Kamala is going to come out. So, of course, if this is her husband, yeah, because he would be essentially the second gentleman, right now he's the second gentleman, but he would be the first gentleman to Kamala if she wins the election. So that is important. I think that is important to know. I mean, if you know you have something like this in your background, but it's something that you have grown for, ideally, you might want to get out. You might want to get this out in the open before it blows up. Because it's interesting, this wasn't really a topic of concern. At least I don't remember it being a topic of concern when Kamala Harris was running for vice president. I don't remember this coming out then. So it's very interesting that it's coming out now. I mean, I just thought I'd throw that out there because that it's the truth. I don't remember this coming out before. But you know, like I said, the other party is going to be interested in this type of information. So I feel like the DNC should have gotten ahead of this. More specifically, Doug. He should have gotten ahead of this. Because now it's looking like, well, this comes out after the fact. Kamala's already vice president. Now she's running for president, and they're digging even deeper into the people around her that's affiliated with her. Of course, that's going to include her husband. But the thing is, her husband knew he did this. Did Kamala know he did this? I mean, that's what I would have that question. Does Kamala know he did this? Or was it hidden from her too? I mean, isn't this something that politicians do? Don't they scour for whatever information could come up about them from their past, present, that could harm their reputation? Wouldn't you get out in front of that to state your case? Because the public is going to be looking at stuff like that. If you are out here advocating for women or femininity, if you out here advocating for femininity and women rights and things like that, we're not going to automatically think, oh, well, I wonder if he ever had anything fishy going on with him. No, you came out when we first, you know, encountered you, you came out for women. So this looks bad because you are out here advocating for women, but they didn't know about this. They didn't know about this right here. So this would be a reason why you would need to prove your case, like state your case. Because like I said, people change. If they grow and mature from their mistakes, they change and they can correct their behavior. And then we would proceed, but it would be out there before somebody else brings it to light. So my question is, did Doug Emhoff's wife know that he did this? Because from his past, from what I'm reading, he didn't have a problem with lying to women. He lied to his wife. He lied on the nanny he cheated with. And then he was, you know, I'm just saying. So apparently he's not above deception. It just don't look good. That's all I'm saying. Don't look good. But I ain't here to rant about Doug. I just wanted to bring y'all attention to this article in reference to Doug Emhoff's alleged assault on an ex-girlfriend in 2012. Okay. And this is something else I want y'all to watch real quick. Hold on. Let's see. So can somebody tell me what's going on here? What is this about? Who does this? Who does this? Why is this okay? I mean, in case y'all don't know who this is Doug. Doug Emhoff. This is Kamala Harris's husband. And this is Jill Biden. What is appropriate about this right here? Can somebody tell me what's appropriate about this right here? I'm just saying, it is what it looks like. I'm going to play it for you. Hold on. Hold on. Because they do the do.
To me, it's
so your dad was a abusive wife beater.
I want you to see
who committed assault
where he
against your
kisses
mother.
her. Okay,
and then impregnated this moment.
Now this is when he's about to kiss her. So y'all won't think somebody planted that picture. I'm showing y'all. This is where she walks up to Doug. She being Jill Biden walks up to Doug Emhoff and plants a kiss on his lips. Okay, watch.
When he locked lips with Jill Biden.
What is that?
Look at this.
What is that?
What a creepy weirdo. Like, I mean, they didn't even
try. What is that? What was that? What was that? So I'm gonna be okay with my husband kissing another woman in her mouth. I'm gonna be okay with that. Is that okay? I mean, what do y'all think? Is that okay? I just thought I'd ask because that was a little off to me. Just a little off. I thought this was interesting that somebody, because remember I said the lady who accused Doug Emhoff of assaulting her, they had been drinking. They were at an event and they had been drinking. So somebody put this up in reference to Doug Emhoff. Abuse is not a laughing matter, but this is the type of stuff that comes about after you have been out here advocating for women or making it seem like you embrace femininity and everything, and you're against control and dominating women. But then a story comes out about you assaulting a woman. So nobody sees how this could be a problem. And this could be something the Republicans can, because it is. I just wanted to put that out there. That I think, okay, so I think that this may be the news that Hillary was trying to get out on top of or in front of that came out about Kamala Harris's husband. So if something else comes out, I will let y'all know. But I think this is what it is, that, you know, he hit a woman. He hit a woman. There's nothing okay about that, especially not, we are first hearing that you are somebody who advocates for women, but then this comes out about you that happened in the past. So it's like now people are going, people may be looking for you to state your case. Because now is not the time for you to be out here faking the funk. Faking it till you make it type thing. Now is not the time for that. when you can jeopardize your wife's chance at being elected. Not good. But enough about that. Let's get into this interview. Let's get into this interview. This interview is with the Art of Dialogue. This man on the screen is the person who put out Kim Porter's book for her, on her behalf. You know, what's in this book is not his words. They're not his words. They're Kim's words. All he did was put it on print and send it out there. That's all he did. So I'm interested in hearing what the issue is, like what's going on, what are the questions. So far, because I'm 5 minutes and 33 seconds in, so far, the Art is saying to him, okay, why put the book out using this name? Because the name that was used was Jamal T. Millwood. And of course, you know, like a lot of people, they go and look up the author. They go and see who is this author to see if the author is real. Okay. And so apparently they couldn't find an author with that name. So they're wondering, oh, okay, this book is fake and blah, blah, blah. I get it. But the author is saying that it was strategically done this way. He's been talking to people. It wasn't just him where he was going back and forth, back and forth. They decided on, it was a decision that was made that he would put it out in a name other than his. And so the Art is trying to say, well, you know, you can see how this would look to the African American community, that someone fake put this book out. This is not a true book and all this other stuff. So that's where we at with this.
I'm going to let it ride.
And I totally understand that, but you can understand when you put.
I do understand.
You do understand, and so from that, in dealing with something that is alleged to deal with Kim Porter,
Sure,
you know,
it's
and
sensitive.
Yeah, it's absolutely.
But I'd ask you, like, what if a black guy wrote a book and he said his name was John? Should white people come out and go, wait, whoa, that guy's name is John? Doesn't sound like a black guy's name.
Well, we have John Sally.
I don't really understand the hang up with the name, but I guess for economical reasons, it may seem like, in terms of what the Art was saying, it may seem like somebody was chasing the bag because their real name was not used or a fake name was used. I get it. But I can also understand where the author is coming from, because this is a really sensitive matter and it needs to be handled strategically. It needs to be handled in a way where people's lives are not threatened, or they don't feel like they will be put under threat or scrutiny. It could be a lot of things that factor into why he decided to do this, but the decision to put out the book in a name other than his was not just his decision.
I understand.
We have John.
But you understand?
Yeah. We have John Amos, but I'm saying.
What Todd? Todd's a white name, but I know black guys are named Todd
but
too.
Jamal,
Todd
but Jamal,
mm-hmm.
Mashburn, Jamal.
Sure.
We can go. I don't know no white man named Jamal. I've never met a white guy.
That's a fair point.
Never. I never met a Latino brother. I've never. It's simply this. It's just not that. And so that's the problem that I think most people had in relation to that.
And maybe I should have thought of it a little more. And I respect that totally. If you really look at my thing, sometimes I just do it. Like, it's really hard to explain. I don't always think it all the way through. So
LaWanda Lane, a close friend of Kim Porter, has publicly called the alleged memoir full of lies. How do you respond to these allegations?
I don't believe LaWanda has the flash drive, does she?
It's okay for friends of Kim Porter to feel like stuff in the book is not true, but let's think about who's involved here as it pertains to the people around him feeling like they are not free to speak on anything. I'm gonna just throw that out there. Why would it be far-fetched for somebody to know Kim, not have all the full-fledged details of what happened in her intimate life, to come out and say the stuff in this book is not true? It's not far-fetched. It's not even far-fetched for somebody she knows that's getting paid to say that, to come out and allege that the book is not true.
I wouldn't think so. According to you, you have the flash drive. On that note, nobody has seen the flash drive.
Well, that's not true.
I mean, publicly, where they can verify.
Publicly, there's multiple people.
Okay. I don't mean no harm, but if this was something this high state, you don't want a whole bunch of people knowing your moves. You don't want a whole bunch of people knowing, because we got to keep in mind who we're dealing with. I also think it's interesting that she did not choose someone of color to give this flash drive to. I'm just saying, like, it's certain ways that you have to handle things, especially like I said, when it's high state. It's certain things that you have to, it's certain ways you have to handle. Everybody's not going to understand why you made the moves you made until everything's put out there. And that's okay. That is okay. I'm just saying.
People who've seen the flash drive.
Flash drive.
Mm-hmm.
Do you plan on at any time introducing the flash drive to any network or anybody that wants to see it to view the metadata involved in that flash drive as to time,
Yes.
dates, and
Yes.
stamps?
Yeah.
And when would you be doing that?
Well, there's tapes on the flash drive.
No, I'm specifically
No, I'm
talking about.
I'm saying all of it.
Yeah,
Just think of it like a totality.
Well, not even the totality.
I haven't shown anything from it yet.
Okay, so not even the totality of it, but simply the metadata.
Yeah, with
As
someone's
the time when alleged that this was purportedly written by Kim, dates, times, because I understand the book really doesn't have a structural date time. It's based.
She left a lot of the dates out, so it's hard to know what award ceremony they're at. I had to research a lot of stuff too.
Okay.
Some of the things I couldn't peg down the date at all.
Okay.
Because she's not putting in the exact 1996, like she's not saying that.
Okay.
And it jumps. A lot of it jumps around.
Okay.
I do believe Kim was writing it over a multi-year period.
Okay.
So she's putting some stuff here, then she's combining these things later. Or remember, all writers do this too. You think back to the event and you play it out in your head. So as I've said, yeah, when the time's right, I will start showing. Right now, there's some other people that actually have access to the flash drive and they're threatening to leak the sex tapes. Okay. That's right now I'm trying to deal with them. Like, so I'm not going to try to beat them to the punch and say, well, I'm going to release this famous person on tape. Not yet. Like I'm whistleblowing. Okay. And we'll get into that, what that means, but it doesn't mean a whistleblower can't make money either. So I don't want to hear anybody come at me from like Hollywood. Hollywood makes billions of dollars trolling the murder and the deaths, the unaliving of people. So I don't want to hear anybody say anything to me from there.
LaWanda Lane claims that she spoke to Kim just 12 hours.
I want to also say that I appreciate this author coming out and speaking about anything, because he didn't have to come out and tell us anything. We didn't ever have to know who he was. Ever. At least he's coming out and talking to us. And he still has to be mindful of what he's saying.
Hours before her death and was by her side. Why would she dispute the contents of the alleged memoir?
I cannot fully answer what if, I don't know if she's hiding something. What if she does know? And for safety reasons, remember, Kim was passed away years ago. So we're looking back like 6 years ago. It's easy to start saying hindsight's 2020. Oh, why didn't she do this and that? Well, let's talk about in the moment. What if Kim Porter didn't give it to her? I don't want to comment too much about like the people's names. I don't want you to ask me like too many people's names.
Like, y'all gotta realize, like, how is it that this man has Kim Porter's information? How does he have Kim Porter's information? How did it get to him? This man. And why him? And he said he's not the only one with the flash drive, the information on the flash drive. He just said there's other people with access that had access to, not the flash drive, but had access to tapes that they're threatening to relinquish or release. And he's dealing with that. I'm just,
for their protection about like, well, this person knew LaWanda sounds like a nice person. I know she's super involved. If she wants to have a conversation with me, she can call me.
Well, I wouldn't. The reason why I said her name is because she spoke publicly.
I understand.
And so I think that
Ebony Electra.
it would be fair. It would be fair to say that someone who was close to Kim Porter would have probably had a conversation as close as she was to Kim Porter, or is alleged to be close to Kim Porter, would have had a conversation to know whether she was working on a tell-all book.
It's safe to say a whole lot of stuff, but that doesn't mean because someone was close to Kim that was the person that she felt comfortable with divulging everything to. A lot of people don't do that with their mothers, and they may be very close with their mothers, but they don't divulge everything to their mothers. So because they didn't divulge what this friend knew to their mothers can come in and say, well, she never told me that, and we were very close. So what? So what? She could have told 2-3 friends this information that these 2 close friends never had. Whole time, these 2 friends got different pieces of information that these friends know nothing about. That's far-fetched. That's not believable. Just because you're close with someone, that doesn't mean that you're telling them everything that someone else may know. No, that's not what that means. And it could be a situation where Kim knew what information to divulge to who.
Any kind of, because what I understand, Kim Porter was working on children's books. And so, in any of your talking to the people who allegedly gave you this flash drive, there was no mention about children's books, her children's books that she was planning on writing. No.
Nope.
Okay. Uh, what was your source for the claim about Diddy's alleged abuse towards Kim Porter, despite people close to her, including LaWanda Lane, denying it?
What is my feeling of how I prove that Diddy was abusive to Kim herself? Well, multiple sources I talked to about that he was abusive. We have the whole story about Saint Tropez on the yacht, the broken nose. So I researched the heck out of that. Her getting hit with the chair that I released, that Radar put out first. That was the first thing I ever leaked. Kim said she was hit by a chair, not me.
No. When did this allegedly happen?
That has to be after, well, the years, we don't know the exact time because I can't even pull the hospital records. So I don't know the exact moment of that. The picture I have that I released with the lip and the blood on the nose, that has to be post 2009 in LA. That's at her Toluca Lake house. As for the chair, I don't know the exact year of when that happened.
So Radar Online actually released that article
Because of me.
because of you.
Yeah.
And when did
They didn't have anything.
when did they do that?
That was a month ago.
A month ago, before the book came out? And so you leaked that to Radar Online.
Yes.
Okay.
We leaked the pages that talk about her getting hit by the chair and waking up in the hospital and seeing the man who put her there. That was what was given to Radar and some other pages. They never got the full thing. They made that up. So I'm gonna straighten that out right now with them.
Who made that up?
Radar. They never had the whole thing. They printed that they did.
So Radar Online basically.
They have 5 pages.
Okay, Radar Online seen what? They saw what to get this?
I didn't even give them the picture either. I showed it to them through a Zoom call. I didn't give it to them. The Daily Mail was given the first Kim Porter abuse photo was given to the Daily Mail on a one-time use. That's the photo you see with the blood, the lip, she's crying, she's looking in the mirror, her friend's taking a photo of her. No one ever saw that. That photo doesn't exist because it's on the flash drive. So that's what people are not really. And I already tried to release some other photos of famous rappers with Diddy and they won't print them. That's on the media. So I've already released them. There's 8 of them with Andre Harrell, with Snoop, with Neo, all in strange little, not people they tell a story about what's going on. They won't release it. Those are from her flash drive. She's the owner of the pictures. So I don't want anybody to say like, oh, do you have the rights package from who? Diddy?
Well, let's delve into that. The pictures you're saying allegedly from the flash drive. When someone takes a picture of you, the person that takes the picture is the owner.
Correct.
Right? So she wouldn't be the owner.
Well, how do I know Kim didn't take the photos? She's right there with Sean all the time.
Because she's in the photo.
No, she's not in the photo. It's Sean.
So,
with Neo. It's not Kim in the picture.
Okay.
It's like Diddy, Neo, Diddy, record executive, Diddy, Andre Harrell, Diddy with one of his sons. I removed it because they're like working out in a gym and they have no shirts on. I pulled it out. I know which kid it is. I don't want to say it. I'm just trying to think of the other photo. So it's not Kim in them. It's like as if she's taking the photos. It's Sean with these people.
But you factually do not know who's taking the photo, correct?
Well, I've been told they're hers.
No, I mean, you don't know personally.
I wasn't there. Yeah.
No, yeah, I mean, you don't know personally who's taking the photo.
Correct.
But you were told.
Yes.
The person that told you.
These are Kim's photos. This is her flash drive. These are hers.
Right. So what I'm saying is, was the person that allegedly gave you the flash drive, were they there when the photos were taken?
I'm not going to comment.
Okay. The alleged memoir suggests that P. Diddy Combs directed Faith Evans to sleep with Tupac after November 30th, 1995, following Tupac's release from prison and the shooting incident. Can you clarify or provide more details on how this claim was verified, especially considering the complexities of their relationship and the timeline of events surrounding Tupac's release from jail.
Okay, we're talking about Tupac or Biggie. You're
And we're
saying
talking about Tupac.
faith when with
And
Tupac that
according to your book,
yeah,
according to your book, it's alleged that Sean P. Diddy Combs,
Kim's book.
yeah, Kim's book.
Yeah, I don't know why people keep referring to Kim's. These are Kim's words, not this author. The author, all the author did was put her words on a book and publish it.
Mommy.
Put her words, print her words on a book and publish it. And everybody's doubting him.
Mommy.
Not me.
The alleged memoir.
I'm recording.
According to it,
Oh, I'm sorry.
in there it says in a conversation that happened between Kim, P. Diddy, and Faith, that P. Diddy said to Faith, and Kim overheard it, that that's the reason why I sent you to be with Tupac Shakur.
I'd have to see that. I can't think of that exact page right now. I know more about the Biggie situation.
I'm gonna look right now. Let me look right now and see. I'm gonna look myself right now. Okay. Because I know exactly what he's talking about. So let me look. Right now, I'm gonna find the page. Let me look. Okay. I'm looking. Faith. Okay. Okay. So let me go back a minute so I can hear what the art said.
Kim's book.
Yeah, Kim's book. The alleged memoir.
Mhm.
According to it, in there it says in a conversation that happened between Kim, P. Diddy, and Faith, that P. Diddy said to Faith, and Kim overheard it, that that's the reason why I sent you to be with Tupac Shakur.
I'd have to see that.
Oh yeah. So what he said was,
Person that told you.
These are
listen
Kim's
to
photos.
listen
This
to
is
what
her
the
flash
art
drive. These are
says.
hers.
I'm
So what
I'm
I'm
gonna
saying is,
correct what
was
was
the
really
person that
said.
gave you,
Okay.
allegedly gave you the flash drive, were they there when the photos were taken?
I'm not going to comment.
Okay.
Okay. The alleged memoir suggests that P. Diddy Combs directed Faith Evans to sleep with Tupac after November 30th, 1995, following Tupac's release from prison and the shooting incident. Can you clarify or provide more details on how this claim was verified, especially considering the complexities of their relationship and the timeline of events surrounding Tupac's release from jail?
Okay, we're talking about Tupac or Biggie. You're
And we're
saying
talking about Tupac.
faith when with Tupac
According to your book,
yeah,
according to your book, it's alleged that Sean P. Diddy Combs,
Kim's book.
yeah, Kim's book, the alleged memoir.
Mhm.
According to it, in there it says in a conversation that happened between Kim, P. Diddy, and Faith, that P. Diddy, P. Diddy said to Faith, and Kim overheard it, that that's the reason why I sent you to be with Tupac Shakur.
Okay, so I mean, I don't like how the art said that, because it's making it seem like Kim Porter is in the conversation with Sean and Faith. It was a conversation between Sean and Faith. Kim was just there to overhear. So it wasn't all three of them having a conversation. It was Kim in the midst of Sean and Faith, and Sean and Faith were the ones having the conversation. So Kim is overhearing everything. When Diddy allegedly says what he says to Faith, I just wanted to clear that up. That it wasn't a conversation with all three of them. The conversation was with Sean Combs and Faith Evans, according to the book. And Kim was there during the conversation. That's what it was. And what the book says is Faith was saying, Sean, you have your friends you share things with. Sean set forward, again, this time with malicious intention, as he queried, what the F is that supposed to mean? Chris had no one, only you. That's what Faith is saying. And Sean lost it. And he said, that fat and that other piece of I had you. And so he's talking to Faith. Sean is talking to Faith when he says that. They're having a conversation about Christopher Wallace. And Sean throws in there, after getting agitated about something that Faith Evans said. And he says that fat, and I'm going to say that I understand that fat to be Christopher Wallace, because that's who the conversation is about between him and Faith. And then he says, and that other piece of I had you. And that other piece of ish, I had you F. And then Kim interjects in their conversation. According to the book, Kim interjects and says, while in shock, you had her F Pac. So Kim interjects in their conversation so that she can get clarification about what Sean had just said to Faith about Chris Wallace and this other person who Kim believes is Pac. So she got clarity when she was looking for clarity. Kim was looking for clarity when she said, you had her, meaning Faith, F Pac. This was a question that Kim allegedly asked Diddy after what he said to Faith. And then it says, Sean glared at me and he answered, yes, effing Pac. So that's what I understood, that the conversation was between Faith Evans and Sean Combs, according to Kim. And Kim was there during that conversation. Once she heard P. Diddy say what he said to Faith, Kim decided to interject and allegedly asked Sean if he had Faith F. Pac, which Sean allegedly said yes. So that's where that came from. I just wanted to make that clear.
I'd have to see that. I can't think of that exact page right now. I know more about the Biggie situation. Remember, there's 59 pages. I don't see it in front of me. I memorize every line. So I know the story about Faith with Tupac, and that kind of goes to the hit 'em up, right? Like, so I can't say if Kim's using Liberty as a storyteller where she's talking about that, like she's trying to blame them for something.
No,
I don't know.
Let me clarify for you. Let me clarify for you. There's a conversation that's taking place in your book, and Faith comes over to the office, and Kim and Sean are in the office, and they begin to talk. And there's soft tone. There's mentions of a lot of stuff, and this is where it goes into calling Biggie the FF word.
Yep.
Okay, it goes into that, and it's calling him the FF word. I won't repeat
Talking
that.
trash about Biggie.
Right, you're talking trash about Biggie, and it says that P. Diddy is saying to Faith, "That's why I sent you to F with Tupac."
I don't know if that's true. I can't comment on it. I don't know what Kim's saying there. I don't know if she's trying to make Faith look bad. I don't know.
No.
I just read y'all, and I just tried to explain to y'all what the book actually is saying, so y'all can understand who's talking to who. This was not a three-way conversation where Kim was included in the conversation, the topic. This is Faith coming to talk to Sean Combs, and Kim was there. There's a difference.
This is what Kim is allegedly overhearing Sean say to Faith.
But remember, as a writer, okay, when you write a book, you don't know. I don't know if it's exactly either she's interjecting a sense of fiction into her book. It's not a diary. That's what people are not understanding. She's telling a story. It's using things that she's saying, I was in high school and then I married, and she's putting that like in first person, right?
Right.
But then she's turning it, it's like a morph. I tried to explain this to another guy in an interview. He wasn't understanding what I was saying. The writers have the ability, whether you call it roman à clef, which means you mix in some soft fiction into a real story, that's her right. So that exact thing, putting me on the spot on that, it's fine, but I can't fully comment.
No, and like I said, it's not actually putting you on the spot. I'm like I said, once again, this is a book.
I can't speak for Kim.
Yeah,
I don't know
absolutely. So like I said, but
I mean, I can, but
and no, and reading, and like I said, from what I'm trying to get at basically is the fact that this is in the book, and it is alleged that P. Diddy allegedly sent Faith at Tupac in order to be with him. And so this is what Kim is allegedly overhearing at this particular meeting.
Is it possible that that's true? Maybe. It's
so
possible.
You don't know if that's true.
I don't, from my understanding of the story of Tupac with Faith, was that what I was told by other people too, they got together sort of as a revenge thing, that Tupac said he wanted to get with her to kind of get at Biggie. So is it a little bit coming from his camp? And did Sean Combs say, egg her on to do it? Maybe. I don't know.
Okay, so basically you don't know. So that
I'm saying I don't fully know if there's some liberty with what she's saying and she's trying to blend Tupac's version and Sean's version together.
Tupac's version of what?
I want to move on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Because you're asking me.
Yeah, I don't like this line of the way these questions are being answered. Asked. I don't really care for how these questions are being asked, but I'm going to do my best to explain to y'all based on these questions that the Art of Dialogue is asking this author. I'm trying to do my best to explain what was in her book, what's in her book, what Kim's words were, and whether or not she was talking, this is a conversation between her and him, or her and Sean, or if somebody else is talking to Sean and Kim is in, she's there. So she can hear it. She can overhear what's being said. And in the book, she's interjecting into Sean's conversation with Faith. And the author is saying, I don't have the book in front of me, so I can't really tell you what's happening. Okay, because it sounds like he understands it from a writer's point of view, what could be happening. But I can only explain to you the way I understand it from the book. It's almost like the art is trying to say, did you put this in here? Is this what you're saying? Is this what Kim is saying? Trying to get him to, give an answer to a question that he can't directly answer that way. And I wouldn't answer it either if the book wasn't in front of me and I can't interpret for myself. I wouldn't do that.
Like these very specific things, I don't know what she's trying to do there.
The reason why I asked that is because I was actually there when they met.
Okay.
I was
With Tupac met
Faith.
Okay, cool.
Right. And so what I'm trying to clarify is,
then you might know more than
well, not that I know more than you. I'm just trying to get to the truth and the facts and the heart of the matter.
Sure.
In relation to the book.
Sure.
And what's being said in the book. And so that you can't clarify that to me.
Correct.
I totally understand that, and you wish to move on.
Sure.
Okay. LaWanda Lane also stated that Kim Porter couldn't even work a computer. How does this align with the portrayal of Kim Porter's involvement in creating digital records of Diddy's alleged activities?
I don't know why anybody would say they don't know how to use a computer.
So Kim Porter didn't know how to use a computer. As smart as she wasn't stupid. Kim Porter was not stupid. She didn't know how to use a computer. That's interesting.
So she's trying to say Kim's computer illiterate. I don't believe that.
I don't think that she's trying to say as a friend, as a close friend, somebody.
No, she's saying that to try to undermine what we're doing. It's kind of insulting. But if I said you didn't know how.
Wait a minute. So how would you know if Kim Porter knew how to work a computer or not? How would you know that? Were you with her every day? Were you around her 24/7? Kim Porter wasn't stupid. What? How can you say that Kim Porter? How do you know Kim Porter didn't know how to work a computer? Oh, okay. Let's go on.
How to use a computer? How would that look in the modern age?
If you knew me,
yeah.
And I know a lot of people who can't use cell phones.
We're saying Kim didn't know how to use a cell phone, send a text, send.
Yeah, no.
She didn't know how to type.
I'm not. Like I said, I don't want to.
The book talks about an iCloud, so she obviously knows how to use a cloud.
Right. The book. Right. And so, like I said, I don't want to.
I understand.
I'm just saying from what's alleged in the book, and her understanding who Kim was and being a close friend, her observation of who her friend was. Mm-hmm. She's basically saying that Kim really didn't know how to use a computer like that.
I call false.
And you call false. Mm-hmm. Okay. Albie Shore, Kim Porter's ex-husband, has threatened legal action, calling the book fake. How do you address his challenge to the authenticity of the alleged memoir?
Al doesn't have the flash drive, so how would he know?
Let me just say this. Albie Shore would have a reason to say that the information in the book is false. Would you not say that? Would you not say that Albie Shore has a reason to call the information in the book false? if I'm a celebrity that don't want certain information out in the public about myself, like we know so many of these celebrities are guilty of, would you not say the opposite of what it is? I mean, you don't want the public to know this about you. This may be something about yourself that you're not ready to divulge to people. If that's the case, you're not above deception. You're not above keeping it out of the public, keeping it from the light. You're not above silencing those who may expose you. I'm recording, hush. But I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and say that because that's what it is. I'll be sure has a reason to say, if he's saying it, he would have a reason to say that. Not saying that's the reason. I'm saying he would have a reason, according to this book, to not want the public to believe what's in it.
How does he know if what Kim wrote? And Al wasn't fully in Kim's life. So I'm not going to bring up some personal stuff about Al B. Shore and his son and Diddy adopting him. I'm not gonna do that. But if he wants to have a conversation, have a conversation. He wants to sue Jeff Bezos, good luck.
But he recently filed a cease and desist order.
Correct.
You are aware of that.
Yeah, they leaked it to the media before they gave it to me. So why don't we talk about that first?
Okay, so
Yeah.
so basically you're saying that Al B.
Mhm.
Shore leaked.
Given to the New York Post before I received it. What's up?
Have you received it yet?
Yes, I did receive it.
You did receive it? And the
But
reason
why would you send it to the media before you show it to me?
That's a good
Because you want
question.
me-
That's a very good question. Why would you leak it to the media before going to the source? If you don't know whether or not the book is legit, or there could be some possible scrutiny around the book. I mean, he has a point. Why wouldn't you talk to him first? That's not a point. Does anybody not think that is a legit question? I mean, I can let y'all hear it again.
from what's alleged in the book and her understanding who Kim was and being a close friend, her observation of who her friend was, she's basically saying that Kim really didn't know how to use a computer like that.
I call false.
And you call false. Okay. Al B. Shore, Kim Porter's ex-husband, has threatened legal action, calling the book fake. How do you address his challenge to the authenticity of the alleged memoir?
Al doesn't have the flash drive. So how would he know? How does he know if what Kim wrote? And Al wasn't fully in Kim's life. So I'm not going to bring up some personal stuff about Al B. Shore and his son and Diddy adopting him. I'm not going to do that. But if he wants to have a conversation, have a conversation. He wants to sue Jeff Bezos, good luck.
But he recently filed a cease and desist order.
Correct.
You are aware of that.
Yeah, they leaked it to the media before they gave it to me. So why don't we talk about that first?
Okay, so
Yeah.
so basically you're saying that Al B. Shore leaked.
Given to the New York Post before I received it. What's up?
Have you received it yet?
Yes, I did receive it.
You did receive it? And the
But
reason
why would you send it to the media before you show it to me? Because you want media, because you want press. So I know
Yeah.
what he's doing. Wants to lock horns. Be careful.
I mean,
Look-
what could be the other reason for that to happen? What is another reason why that happened? If there's some possible scrutiny that can come behind this book, and you know the source, where the source came from, why wouldn't you talk to the source? Why wouldn't you consult with him before you put it out? I understand that question. I really do. I understand that question.
Look me up. Look at my other lawsuit, 40 million in Miami. Go look at what I'm doing over there.
The reason why I believe that, from what I understand and what I've read, is the fact that he's depicted in the book,
Very briefly.
allegedly by Kim, and in the book it states that he's involved in certain nefarious activities, I would call them.
That she's eyewitnessing.
That she's allegedly eyewitnessing, because
Correct.
we haven't seen
Sure.
anything
Correct.
involving that, and that's why I was asking you about the metadata earlier. So I think that's the reason why he responded like he
I'm
did.
going to make a comment about that too, but you ask your question first.
Yeah, like he did. No, go ahead. Feel free.
He's X'd out in the book. It's not even, it doesn't even say it. So he's gonna try to file a lawsuit against one of the biggest companies in the world, and their lawyers are gonna open the book and go, I don't know what's going on. Let me read. They're gonna see a bunch of X's. It doesn't even say it. Now, if defamation by implication, when you imply something, yeah, they might have a peg leg to stand on with that. But still, again, he's in like half a page. Okay. I didn't say it. She said it. Okay. Now, I almost didn't want to put it in there, I will admit. And I'm considering removing that chapter. I am.
The question that most people, what you just said.
But why would these are Kim's memories? Why would you take any of her memories out of her book? Because the person who's still alive is negating it. But these are her memories. Regardless, she's no longer here. Why would you want to take them out of her book if it's hers? If it's hers, if it came from that flash drive, it's hers. It's hers. Why would you want to remove her memories? Those are her memories. No. Because I believe everything in here was Kim and Kim's account of what happened. And like I said, you got to look at the number of people involved. And then ask yourself, would these be people who would have a reason to negate what Kim is saying? Would these people have a reason to challenge what she is saying? The answer is yes. All of them. All of them have a reason. All of them have a reason. But is that a reason to take away Kim's memories? Because if it came from this flash drive belonging to her that she created before she passed, and there's ways to track that, those are her memories. And if everything that was on that flash drive was in that book, those are Kim's memories. That means those were her accounts in that book.
The question that most people would have, if this was done in the interest and in the respect of Kim, and she wanted this out allegedly, then why would you remove it?
Because I have carte blanche permission to do whatever I need to do in any lawsuit and anything. I am her voice right now. I'm in charge of the book.
So you can speak for Kim, is what you're saying.
I'm in charge of the book.
Okay.
Yeah. If I want to remove the book because they come to an agreement, if Amazon says pull the chapter and you keep going, then I will seriously consider pulling his 2 pages out of the book. And that's why I X'd it out too. I did him a solid. I X'd out what it said.
And that's another thing. If L.B. Shore is making the claim about this book because of said reasons before, and And the author decides that, or he will agree to remove the issue at hand, okay? If he decides to remove whatever pages, would Al B. Shore's opinion about the book change? Would it change? Because that's a question I would have for Al. Would it change? Or would you not have anything to say? Would you not give an opinion then on the book like you did before?
I didn't even put it out there, but I get it. I know it's, look, when I first read the pages too, I was shocked. I was. I don't know the whole deal of like, is she trying to be shocking? I don't know. She's not the first author to do it, you know?
Jeez.
Kim Porter's children, as well as Diddy himself through his lawyer, have dismissed the book as an attempt to capitalize on her death. How do you respond to these criticisms?
Are they going to make comments about the victims of Sean Combs, or are they just going to focus on trying to call the memoir fake? Let's see their statement about all the victims. There's going to be 50 new ones coming.
And I agree. I agree. They putting more into discrediting the book than they are about the victims.
Out. I'd like to see them make statements about that before we start responding to what Kim did.
Respectfully, these are Kim Porter's children. That's their mother. Their mother is no longer here. From what they understand and from what they know, their mother wasn't working on any book.
From what they understand and from what they know, their mother wasn't working on the book. And that goes back to what I said earlier about the friends, about being close, that you tell them everything. It works that way with your children as well. It can work that way with anybody you in a relationship with. There's always a possibility that your kids do not know what your husband or what your wife or what your best friend, your dad, your mom, there's a chance that they don't know everything that they know. Is it far-fetched for a parent not to divulge everything to their children? Especially if you love them. Could it not be a form of protection from mother to child? Is that not a form of protection from a mother to a child? For a mother to a child? To a child from the mother? I mean, that's not a form of protection, a form of security to shield them from the things that happen to her. That's too hard to believe that she would do that for her babies. And I would ask why. Why is that hard to believe? That there's a possibility that Kim was working on what she was working on without divulging it to her children for reasons that a mother would have for a child. That's all I'm saying. To me, I can understand why the children would not have been privy to Kim writing a tell-all book. It is a tell-all book written by their mother, who is divulging things she is not proud of. The things that happened to her while being with this man are not the kind of things that a mother would want her child to know. And that is what I'm saying before anything else. I would be protecting my children, shielding them. And Kim was human. She had done things that she could not believe she was doing.
Would she tell them that?
From what they know, I'm not going to interject anything I'm thinking of saying. From what they know and what they understand from their mother is that their mother wasn't working on any book.
A lot of people said she was.
And so her children, as well as Sean P. Combs, through his lawyer, are basically saying that it's an attempt to capitalize on her death. And my question is, once again, how do you respond to these criticisms in an articulate way? And like I said, we do understand the accusations that are alleged against Sean Combs, the NDAs that he's had signed by other people, housekeeper, chef, and so on and so forth. But in particular, Kim Porter's children saying that they disagree with this, that their mother, who birthed them out of her womb, who they spent their life with, would know, and saying that, hey, you know what? This is a cash grab.
Well, also, I don't know if they're saying that for the public eye. I do a lot of murder cases where they know there's been an unaliving and they won't say it publicly. So yes, through their PR machines, right? They may have to say that, and that's okay. I have no issue with them saying that. But I've done a lot of cases. I've seen a lot of crazy stuff of parents, sisters, brothers, kids. I've seen things that'll make your head spin backwards. Okay. So we have to kind of just ride it out, see what happens. Okay. Other people are starting to come forward already. They're already starting to corroborate.
And another thing that I want to say is, if y'all don't know, I study people. Okay. Not only do I research, but I study people. And what I am telling you is, I feel every bit of this man's energy, and I am telling you, there's no faltering in him. He's very direct and a matter of fact with everything that he's saying. He's not swayed by these questions. And given his line of work, I would say there are people that trust him. I'm not feeling like this man is not trustworthy right now. I'm not feeling like that at all. He's a matter of fact about everything. He's willing to negotiate. That means he's willing to confront you if you need, or meet you at the table, even if it means court. This man is a matter of fact, okay? I'm not doubting him. Right now, I'm not doubting anything he's saying.
Great. And some people are denying. We know that. It's not my first rodeo. It's not my first book. I already know what's coming. I already knew the family would say that. Okay. So I respect them. If they want to talk to me, then have a conversation with me. It's not a money grab. These people have 20 times more money than I do. No one can say like money grab. Hollywood already owes me like $20 million. So When anybody says anything about money to me, just be careful. Like,
And that's another reason why I trust him. That's another reason why I trust him. He doesn't have anything vested in this, as far as we know, because he wasn't the one who released the book. The people that released the book, he said they didn't come to him. What about the pictures he said he leaked to the Daily Mail and the other site? Like he didn't come out and brag or do, you know, and nobody even knew that until he just told us. Nobody knew. I'm just saying.
but I respect the question.
The alleged memoir claims that Diddy threw a chair at Kim, but LaWanda Lane said that Kim would have killed him if that happened. What's your response to those who call these claims absurd? Prior to the release of the alleged memoir, had you heard anyone else make the same or similar claims on social media regarding the chair incident?
Well, if Kim had abuse issues before, did she kill Sean Combs after that? Did she kill him after he punched her in the face on the yacht?
I'm confused.
My answer is no. She didn't
What?
kill Sean Combs after there were other abuse incidences. So when she's saying, "Oh, if Sean hit her with a chair, she would have killed him," well, she didn't do it before, so why is she going to kill him after the chair? There are a lot of abuse instances, most likely, that we don't know what happened between them. So to say, what is she, a Navy SEAL? Like she's supposed to?
Hold on, y'all. I'll be right back with the live. I will be right back.